Welcome to WrestleCulture.
Yeah.
I want to shout. I want to cheer. I want to chant with everyone when Jey Uso is near. The Fed has become a place I must proclaim, where the Yeats have no name.
Yes,
oh, they couldn't trademark main event's catchphrase. And now every mention disappears without a trace. Monday Night Raw is just not the same. Well, the Yeats have no name. Whew. I'm Adam Wilbourn from What Culture, joined by Damen Nicholas and Michael Hamflett.
I couldn't have taken the full chorus of that. I don't know the way you were going.
I thought
he's already at quite a level. Like, where's he going with this chorus?
Should I do some U2 at the...
All I'm thinking about is Sidgwick downstairs, thinking the whole world's falling through.
Do you know The Sweetest Thing by U2? A bona fide classic, I think.
We once did a video where we did The Sweetest Thing.
yeah.
Too sweet this thing.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was an apology from Bono to his wife. I think he forgot a birthday or an anniversary when he was on tour or something like that.
Classic.
You should do The Sweetest Thing karaoke as an apology to all of us for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's, well, I hate to break it to you, but, and I'll share this with all of you, he was listening to this so loud on his headphones in preparation to get in the zone. And I was like, what is that? What can I hear? I was like looking around, and here's you going,
Let's get it.
And as usual,
Yeah.
the reveal is he's gone at the goo with his elbow. What rhymes with yeet?
What rhymes with yeet? Yeah.
Sweet.
Bang! His hand on the keyboard. See what happens.
You say, you know, it's going to be a divisive song, but just Daryl slid into the chat. We are live on YouTube, of course.
Yes, we are. Hello.
Saying What Culture Wrestling confirmed next live show for the Las Vegas Sphere.
Oh my god!
Boom.
And that's our ticket,
that's
and that's
how
how
we
you
did
got
it.
in there.
And that's
What
why
is
he-
going on?
And that's why he's
never
the
know,
only
man.
wrestling journalist we trust.
Anyway, before we get into it, as I said, joined by Adam, all the way around.
Go on.
Adam Nicholas
Adam
and Michael
Hamflett,
Hamflett.
Michael Nicholas.
That's my.
That's us.
I got a cousin called Adam Hamflett as well, but he works on my
that's
team.
weird.
Wouldn't
I
have
don't like-
anything
Don't like
to do with
that.
this,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, you can leave him outside as well.
That's my first name and surname, just well and truly destroyed and bulldozed by you this week.
Can we talk about this?
I'd be glad
What
to.
has he done to you subconsciously, right? I don't know if you've been paying attention on all these. Every time you mention his name, whether it's Hamflett, whether it's Michael, whether it's one of your horrible names you probably call him, it's come out weird. It's just like, I'm a Hamflett.
I think I'm just very
McHaggle?
much, I'm very much at the end of the year.
At the end of your rope with me, it's like I look at you and I just need the end of the year. I need
I've just
a bit of
had
time.
It's like, I'm sick of your face. Every day, it's you and that other guy.
And
Sometimes this guy.
And do you know what we do every single day? We do daily wrestling podcasts. We review Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Oh! We talk about AW Collision pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture, podcasts, YouTube, all that sort of thing. But I'm going to skip past that because I keep forgetting to mention this till the end of the podcast. So I'm going to start with this because on Monday, no live Q&A on the YouTube channel, but something far, far better. The Dadley Boys live show, which we filmed, a few weeks back?
Yeah.
When it happened.
21st of November?
21st of November.
Like that, yeah. We'll be going out on the What Culture Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel, so keep an eye out for that. I'm very excited.
All going well. He's not here, but all going well.
Yeah,
Imagine
yes.
if we lost the tape and just had to like sort of redo it all, act it out in an empty bar.
Green screen it, yeah.
Like Chandler's wedding, Chandler and Monica's
I'm
wedding.
like going to the Mosaic Tap and shooting loads of B-roll of it, and then I'm like cut people into it. To be fair, there's certain shots of the back of people's heads I could probably get away with, just like put things in there.
That's how it's going to look like we actually did the live show at Sophia when we make one of them.
Yeah.
So I'll get into some of the lovely questions we've been sent in the chat. Thank you to everyone for joining us today in due course. But we talked, I think last week, maybe a few weeks back, about Bryan Danielson being a cop. And getting CM Punk fired. Now he's fining people for social media conduct.
It's pretty funny. Like, he's in a position of, like, we joke about him being a cop. Obviously, that was like, he was a relevant party at an independent-ish investigation of what happened at Wembley, blah, 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 blah. So it's all a bit of fun, that. That was a bit of fun. Now it's a shoot. He's a cop. Like, he's the worst person in your office. No, he's not. He's in a position of some authority within AEW. That much is clear. They've tried locker room leaders, Undertaker-esque figures, if you will. It's probably why Chris Jericho enjoys a crate of beer, but he got a crate of beer and he lost fucking bailed. So, like, that's to do away with that. They've tried veteran presences that have Khan's ear. It's not gone so brilliantly. That's kind of what got us here. They've
Who are we
tried.
talking about there?
I can't think of
Yeah,
anybody.
no names come to mind.
Anybody. They've tried wrestlers as EVPs. I think we can all agree, resounding success.
Massive success.
They've tried bona fide draws who look at the entire company and be like, I kind of hate this, actually. I think I'm going to have to blow it up and leave.
Yeah.
So I can see why they've landed on Brian as a sort of catch-all. Can we just do a bit better, guys? He's one of them people where he's like, can we just all try a little bit harder? And that now extends to all of this social media misbehavior, doesn't it?
I did like that in the immediate aftermath of this. Obviously, people are looking at wrestlers' likes, and was that qualify or not? And good luck to Jim Ross if that is the case.
I've seen his likes, and they got fine written all over him.
He doesn't need any more good looks, I think, is the thing. Right?
But, like, I think last night, Chris Jericho was just someone said something to him. Obviously, they're just poking the bear.
Yeah.
And he's like, F off. And all the things underneath it were just memes of Bryan Danielson. Like, here we go.
Like an office
those,
work.
like the one we're just sitting there going, so we've been looking at your social media. It is funny, this, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
He's in the whole storyline with the authority for all this time. And it's like, well, by the way, I'll just put his little suit on. We need to talk about Twitter.
I think
Which is quite important, actually.
he gets like enough freedom in AEW to obviously just be the wrestler. He wants to be Bryan Danielson. If this was WWE, his next gimmick would be like human resources, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He'd be sort of...
Well, he'd be in the middle of his current gimmick, which is pirate. So, like, he would 100% Vince would be like, big beard, eye patch. He should start coming out with a hat. And, like, you know, like Kyrie's saying should have done with that boat.
Yes.
He would be Brian would be doing that. And then he'd look like Captain Jack Sparrow, like that. So quick.
Paul Burchill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Only a good wrestler?
Yeah, he was all right, Paul
How
Burchill.
about like a good wrestler, though?
Yeah,
Like a really, one of the best wrestlers in the world.
I like Paul Burchill, but like just one time, and look, I'm sure this wasn't every time, but like I was following Paul Burchill into a toilet and he didn't wash his hands when he left. And that's always sort of stuck with me. That was like, did he do that every time?
Pirate's life for him, man.
And I watched somebody come out, it was like after a show and like somebody shook his hand and I was like, you don't know.
Oh.
You don't know. Paul Burchill's piss particles.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think
And he
Paul
wanted
Burchill.
to have incest as well. That was the other part
He
of it,
was the
wasn't
sister.
It was a
Well, his
shoot.
sister thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, that was a real story. That was just a storyline. We really need to distinguish them now.
define this right now. If you're watching Paul.
But you were really great. Like I thought you were like the Brock Lesnar of FWA in the UK. So yeah.
Paul Burchill just debuted for the NWA 2 weeks ago on Power.
Oh well.
There we go.
Well,
It was so proud. Oh, I saw him actually. Yeah, he kind of has like a John Moxley type aesthetic now. He's got like a leather jacket and the beard and the little tufted hair that Mox pretends is actually hair and like the it's NWA in it.
sorry, Paul.
Shout out to Tactical Penguin in the chat, who's listening while on a forklift. Life has peaked.
Sounds both good and dangerous.
I don't want to take the responsibility. This is on you if something goes horribly wrong with that. By the way.
Hello.
Let's get some of the chat involved. Mr. Phoenix straight in as soon as we launch the live chat. There are a lot of WWE versus... Their words, not mine. There are a lot of WWE versus the B Company, but is there anything DeFed and All Friends Wrestling are equally good or equally bad at?
Equally not ever reaching the potential with any of the women, I feel.
Yeah, that's a big
on
one. Isn't
both
it?
companies. Despite the fact for a while we were like, WWE's doing this better. And now, how is that kind of almost, I mean, I don't think it'll ever be level with AEW, but it's quite close in terms of their standard, what they have tried to set. WWE's standard, which they've tried to set with women's wrestling, or claim they were aiming to strive towards at least, doesn't seem to be there. Despite the fact they do have insanely talented people on the roster.
Yeah.
Same with AEW, but AEW's never actively given us like an evolution or something like that, despite the fact they easily probably could.
It's not false promise because there was never a promise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Both go to the video packages.
Video package is great for the most part. AEW use them less, but they're very effective as a result, whereas WWE hit you with them all the time and you can't help but sort of marvel at them. Yeah, the women's division was the one that stuck out to me, to be honest. Like, it's WWE's improving, but I feel like it's one of the few, if I'm honest, disappointments of the Triple H run. That felt like the easiest win for somebody that had sort of reimagined, dare I say it, like reimagined women's wrestling in North America, because there was just nothing to go off. He had the easiest run in like 2014, 2015, and it's never quite got there yet on the main roster. It's been his best run of late. I think it's Becky Lynch and Damage Guitar, and there's some...
mending fences and sort of pulling a few things in where it's like, okay, you could see the potential here, but he needs to deliver on it. And
yes.
I mean, it's surely though, like we say this all the time, has been for the last how many years, ever since the first one. It's super easy tapping. Evolution 2 is right there. Just do it.
I think that could happen in 2024.
I really do.
Yeah.
If he's really trying to
ride the goodwill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both arguably as well, especially after this week, equally good dropping viewers whenever Adam Copeland shows up on their show. So, you know.
Hey, look, he only speaks in facts.
I see. I mean,
I'm talking today about facts.
I want to argue with you, but if I speak, I'm in big trouble.
I've never seen...
And I don't want to be in big trouble.
I've never seen an Adam Copeland or a Christian self-portrait, but I don't imagine it'd be any good because them two just cannot draw.
Mr. Phoenix says, big brain stuff
20 plus years.
Folks, I love him, but where?
Yeah, we think they're great. Big brain stuff here. Let's say you're undefeated and you enter a 2 out of 3 falls match and you lose a fall but still win 2-1. Are you still undefeated?
Oh, yes, but I wouldn't like it.
Yes, I agree.
There was I'm going to use Edge, Adam Copeland again. He had a WrestleMania
It's
streak.
just them that you know you're walking a fine line already, boys. If you want this to continue.
No, this is, I was very angry on his behalf.
Yeah.
He was sort of building his own WrestleMania streak. And at WrestleMania 24, he defended his world title against The Undertaker, and how brilliant that could have been.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm going to take your streak and keep my title. But he'd got stretched out of Money in the Bank the year before. And I was like, I think that's a defeat, mate. I don't think we can.
Did
count
you win
that.
the match?
No. So yeah, I would say, I don't know, man. Imagine if Gunther now won a 2 out of 3 falls, but lost the first fall, and it was a pinfall. Wouldn't feel right, would it?
It wouldn't feel right, but I still wouldn't feel like if the match is. If you have to win a 2 out of 3 falls match or lose a 2 out of 3 falls match, if at the end you have won a 2 out of 3 falls match, you have won the match.
What about
you've won the match? You've lost a fall within the match, but you haven't lost the match, have you?
No, true.
But I am 100% with you. I'd be like, oh, it's icky. Like you've cheated to get us through that. And yet, when they did it with Kurt Angle and he lost both belts to 2 different people, I was still like, yeah, it's fine. Fine. You put the world championship on him, actually.
It's the visual, isn't it, of somebody that's undefeated getting pinned or submitted for the first time as well. Like, even in a tag.
It should mean something.
Yes.
It should mean something.
Yeah.
There's a
massively,
reason
shouldn't
why they do, it's a tag, so so-and-so can take the pin, but not the person.
If they got away with like somehow losing a fall to a count out, maybe in a 2 out of 3 falls, if that's
Count outs and DQs,
like, you know what I mean?
think.
Like you could, Tori Yano it, and then like, you win the next 2. It wouldn't feel as bad, would it?
Do you remember Asuka
in the Battle
protecting
Royal?
her streak?
That's the one.
The mixed tag classic, whatever it was, where she had to protect a streak and the Miz was a partner. She was like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, let me fix this.
Yes.
But you did go out.
Yeah.
The Battle Royal.
I did an NXT Battle Royal. Yeah.
Which is a true story. She went out. Is that a loss? I mean, it's not a win.
Everybody shit.
It's not a win, but how did you go over there? Here's some free tickets. Get out of the way.
Mr. Phoenix also says, great weekend for me, going to the last Impact show and coming home to Deadline.
That is a great week.
Saturday night. If only if some kind of pod had already previewed both shows available now, where you pod. Yeah, go and check out Mr. Phoenix's pod. I'm sure he'll post a link to it in the chat. Alfred Hill, thank you for your first ever super chat. Thank you for joining us, Alfred.
Thank you, Alfred.
Who's doing this and then us off out for Christmas drinks.
Nice.
Very festive.
Have you ever seen the film Alfie 2004, Alfred?
Yes.
You should watch that if you haven't, because that's
Could be you.
It's a great film.
It could be Alfie 2023 by the end of this.
Maybe you could.
2023,
Maybe
yeah.
it could be.
Sorry, yeah.
2023, yes.
That's how you
Let's not
mind.
get weird about it.
Alfred says,
picking up your butt now.
evening lads.
That's when I heard that one.
What do you think of a Moxley Hangman Swerve #1 contender match in the new year? A triumvirate of blood, hatred, and violence. And presumably potentially to face Samoa Joe for the title.
Yeah, damn it.
You might not have to wait till. Well, that won't be #1 contenders, but it'll be who's the biggest dick.
Yeah.
Coming up, but winter's coming, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like AEW don't use triple threats and four-ways much. Other than the women's division, where there's a rich history, they don't use multi-person matches for these things when it comes to the singles titles that often. But that would be, Swerve winning in particular there would be quite the nod, wouldn't it? Of I'm going to step past these two people that have just been there since the beginning. They're the biggest stars. So it would very much benefit Swerve, but I'd probably keep it simple. Just on personal taste, I would probably he's beaten Hangman. I'd like him to beat John Moxley. I really, really want him to win on Wednesday.
I think we talked a little bit about this on the Collision preview earlier. I booked Swerve to win that.
I think he needs to. If
I'm sort of dreading if they don't, you know.
Are they going to do a draw, I suppose?
I was just about to say, is that going to be the draw? Is that going to be the one draw?
Yeah.
But go all in with them for me.
Yeah.
Like if I sacrificed a few things along the way, like, you know, the wins he's had, like even when we were talking about more accurately, you were talking about, and I was watching over there.
Yeah.
But like the Mark Briscoe potential, like could have got the odd win. During like we've seen a lot of stuff that didn't happen for Swerve to go that way, and Moxley. When you could have argued Moxley definitely could have lost his first match, and like Moxley could have done the Argentina World Cup, couldn't he? Could have lost the first. And it was like, oh my God, Moxley lost the first, and then not win the whole thing, but get the final at least. Like,
and he humps the Triple Crown thing like the goal.
Exactly, yeah.
Martinez. Alfred also says, since it's the season, what is your most underrated Christmas film and carol? Merry Christmas to the whole team. I'm off for Christmas drinks. Cheers, Alfred.
Interesting. The film, Alfie 2004 has a Christmas scene in it. Does that count? I don't know.
You and I love The Night Before, don't we?
I do love The Night Before, which I only really watched, I think, for the first time like 2 years ago or something.
Me too, yeah.
And I was like, how have I not watched
You seen this? Not about this?
What's this? The Night Before Christmas?
It's Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie.
Okay, no, I haven't seen this. That's
great.
Three bros just going out and having a night before Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's good crack.
I might watch that this weekend.
It reminds me, like, because they've all got kids, right? I think, well, like, one of them's got kids.
Yeah,
and,
Seth
like,
Rogen's due a kid.
They've all got life situations going on, and
Yeah.
they're basically trying to make the most of it. And
It's
like,
awesome.
I think
It's
it's relatable
Can
content.
relate, yeah.
Relatable content, yeah. For
I'm
you,
gonna-
anyway. I do whatever I want.
I'm going to go with, in terms of underrated Christmas carols, is Mr. Mackey doing hear the bell, sweet silver bell, all you to say, ding dong, okay. Go ahead.
Ding dong, hey.
Listen to that every year.
I can't believe you just pulled that out, and it was not that long ago. I think I was watching that episode probably on this first ever run of South Park.
I'm going to second that one because I hate Christmas carols.
Yeah. See, I'm not that into carols either.
No, I don't like hymns either. I don't like how the syllable, like it's the iambic pentameter or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's wrong in hymns, and they still say heaven. They say instead of over and off. It gives us the ick a little bit. And last week's film, we had a question similar to this, where it was just favourites. And again, I'm not like huge on Christmas as a genre, but I do enjoy the Christmas Chronicles through my kids. So for underrated, I'll go with Christmas Chronicles 2.
Oh, that's on the list for
not
me,
a bad sequel either.
Right, okay.
Like, yeah.
Watched Last Christmas for the first time last night.
Oh boy. And it's like, you won't believe the twist coming.
I already knew it.
I've never watched it because I always had that vibe of it. I was like, you want this to be the film, and I don't think it is the film. I don't know. I still haven't watched it.
I won't say anything about it, no spoilers or anything, but the way the lead character's like, ugh, why are you talking to me? And I was like, that's one of the hottest men I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Why are you like, you're a bit weird, I want to talk to you.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, he's the same guy who's in The Gentleman, isn't he?
Yes,
And he plays like the young
and Crazy Rich Asians,
yes, yeah. I was just thinking there, I'm not a Christmas Carol guy particularly, and I watch this film with my family every year, Christmas Eve, because my mum loves it. And it's one of them where it's become like, it's not about the film, because it's a stupid film, but it's about you watch it every year. That's just the vibe. And then Christmas kind of starts on Christmas Eve when we watch. So Love Actually, which I know you discussed the other week.
Yeah.
The bit in that film where he's at the door and the kids are like, can you sing us a carol? Yeah. And then he asks the bodyguard, and the bodyguard's like, good King Wenceslas, look out. And he's like, what the hell?
Yes.
It's quite good at that, so.
I was like a devotee of the Richard Curtis verse when I was younger.
Right.
But I've loved Four Weddings, loved Notting Hill, a lot of time for Love Actually, but I just think like pretty much the entire genre just hasn't aged. Well, I think Four Weddings is still pretty great, but like
I haven't dared watch.
How does she not know it's raining? Thicko.
Too much in love.
Too much in love, mate.
See, yeah.
Love blind.
I think what happened was like he was like, I'm just going to pretend the shoot world looks like this, and like in this country at the time it was like it's close enough. It's obviously not, but it's close.
Do.
And then like the country moved about as far away from that little world he created, like that little tiny pocket of London, as it.
To be fair, I do think everybody was like in love with Hugh Grant at this point.
Yeah, he had a hell of a
no
run,
wrong. He could do absolutely no wrong.
About a boy as well,
Yeah,
and like,
but like I think I would be scared to watch them back. But I remember watching them and enjoying all those films on the run. But like Love Actually's just so it doesn't make any sense. If you even, it's like It'd be like you guys reviewing NXT. If you even stop for a second to think, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we can't enjoy this. But like, I've watched it so many times, I'm like, yeah, it comes that stupid bit. And how many times have you heard me around going, and he's got a big knob? Stupid.
Henry Golding is the guy we're trying to think of. That
Henry Golding
is the man Emilia Clarke goes, what's up with you?
At least like she's all at it, and he like takes off his glasses, and she's like, "Oh my, you've been there the whole time."
Hello.
He looks like
The whole
that. That's
time.
what he looks like.
No, he's,
Turns up, he looks like
he's
that.
just a stud from get-go.
Really
and I've
handsome,
only
then.
seen the trailer, and I can get that much, so...
Prazant, thank you for your donation. Simply says that Raw has the best world building of the weekly shows. Characters are the most fleshed out and show satisfying progression. The best show since peak Dynamite.
And I mean,
It's true, but how much...
folks, where's the line?
Feels like you paid him for that. Like, I saw your eyes light up, and I was
Well,
like...
I just feel like this.
And I don't disagree, by the way, I should point out.
Right, this is my answer to the last question, if I may. Because me and Sid were having a chat in the office about this before, and I was saying, like, I'm trying to be a bit more Joe Christmas this year. I've not really been a festive guy for...
Try and look.
I'm doing my... Like, I
forced him to wear it, but
it's been a while since I really liked Christmas, like a long while. And I've been trying to work out why. And then, like, Sid was on about, and, like, Murray and was just mentioning, like, what it is they like about this specific period of time. And it occurred to me that, like... And again, don't want to speak for everybody. I think a lot of people like use this time of year, understandably so, for just to like indulge a little bit in what some of life has to offer, whether that be friends, family, drink, food, like telly, film, any of this sort of stuff. Just a certain like time of the year where you can be like, like if I just live in this little world, like life can be a 10. Life's pretty hard and it can't always be a 10. I was like, right.
No, we're there. Do it down the lens. Do it down the lens. Come on.
When I was 5 years old, I found my life's 10 out of 10. And I still feel that every Tuesday morning / Monday night, right? In a broader sense. Not just with Monday Night Raw, while it's currently cooking and goated, but with wrestling in general, right? I don't need the hats, the family, the friends, the drink, all of these things. Very grateful to have them in my life.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah. And you know what? If you did, I would get my phone out and I would put the WWE Network on. And I would probably, what am I into at the moment? 1995, I would like, yep, it's a 10 again. Like another 10 day for Michael Hamflett because of this thing right here.
I'd think, it's another episode of Superstars.
And I just think that, like, I love that so much that nothing about Christmas. God, I hope my kids never watch this. Nothing about Christmas.
I'll timestamp
It
it.
doesn't get through the YouTube Kids thing right now. I haven't shown them as a grown-up one.
I will take the financial hit to change this to just for kids.
All hell breaks loose. Like, I don't know. Like, I think I can get a seasonal 7, maybe an 8 out of 10. But there's just always a 10. 52 weeks a year, longest running weekly episodic 10. Yeah. Like there's, and if you want 2, there's also one on a Friday. And if you want 3, there's one on a Tuesday. And if you want a 6, there's a Wednesday. No, I'm being a facetious prick. All I'm saying is wrestling, wrestling, not just WWE, not whatever, has always been the thing that gives me the most happiness. Nothing about Christmas compares with when I'm like nothing that will happen over December, and people have seen it on the internet, will get me as high as I was in that room with you 2 weeks ago.
I've never heard you make those
Survivor
noises,
Series.
so yeah.
You know, and that's not like being on harsh enough. Nothing.
See those
That's
noises
my
that you
high.
made, the noises you made for Punk. Like that's me on Christmas Day when the dinner's about to come up.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's the most. My stepdad will never watch this video, right? But I'm going to shoot down the lens from the greatest Christmas dinner maker. Full stop.
Wow.
Shoot, the man has been. I have been there for the barren years, you know.
In that kitchen,
I was
that
there,
table.
On commentary, he's doing the whole thing, and he started from the bottom.
Yeah.
And I've been there for all of the upgrades per year.
Nice.
Right, and then when I am living in his golden age
LTST.
now. I'm living in his goated years now, where he's like, oh, I'm a master now. He sees that Brian Danielson years of Christmas dinner, and I'm just like, God, it's one day it'll be me. So one day, what I need to do is go under the wing and learn it all, because you know, time is a thing.
Indeed.
And people are going to leave at some point, and I should probably be able to do that. It's got nothing to do with wanting to connect with family. I just want the food, man.
You want the benefits of the learning
give me the
tree.
food, and then off you go. You can shuffle off this mortal coil all you want, man. I just want the food.
And like, just to sort of wind that back up to anybody that doesn't feel festive, if there is somebody like watching this that doesn't particularly like Christmas or anything, if it was just me and a chair and crisps and wrestling, I'm living my 10. And if you are too, and you don't want to decorate, you don't want to celebrate, you don't want to get festive, whatever, like, just stop and think, am I living my 10? And you might be. You actually might be. And that's why you might not feel the need for festive groove.
I was sitting here before.
We're staying in tonight. Hey,
we're watching Raw again. We got cheese and onion, or will I have plain?
See, my thing was, I'm like, this is you. So he was like, he has one thing, and he has thing two. It's like, and I don't want both of them. I just want one of them to be 10. And I'm like, I do put my hands together way too much as a bit, but it's true. I'm like, why would I want to choose one of these things? I live a really quite nice life that I've curated for myself. Like that Sunday dinner, I like the Christmas dinner at my stepdad's. I love Christmas.
The key words there were curated for you. Curated for yourself.
Yeah, you got to do it, man. And do whatever it is for you that makes it good this year, I think. Whether it's the least amount or the most amount of Christmas stuff, I think that's good.
We're being philosophical now because, I mean, I won't be here next Friday. You'll be back with Phil, but like WrestleCulture next week will be the post-Christmas party one.
Oh, boy.
So there'll be none of these deep conversations.
That's true. That is true.
They'll more just be like shame, regret, and memories rather than like...
no questions
it'll
next
still
week,
be
please.
better. It'll still be better because we'll be like in that little sweet spot of silliness, won't you? Like the NXT review after the live show, which was just great. If you haven't watched that, go and watch it. It's amazing.
And if you want to see what motivated that NXT preview, tune on Monday at YouTube, where you can watch the live show.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, Matt Rains in the chat says, I'm really excited to hear your voice again, ass hat. I mean, hey guys, happy Friday. Hope you all have a great weekend. Looking forward to watching the live show pod. All going well. And I should mention, by the way, Prasant also says, has TK changed the Brian face heel alignment too often?
I don't know. Danielson, possibly not, because he's a special creature in this regard. Moxley, yes. Yeah. Like the BCC, you're either this hardest guy in the room that has this weird moral compass, or you're the hardest guy in the room that thinks like Wheeler Yuta's worth your time. I think that's really knackered Moxley. You just need to get clearer with him. Danielson just gets away with it. Like, think about when he was still like the planet's champion and he was being accused of attacking Roman Reigns, and he was like, actually, Roman, it's this doppelganger of Eric Rowan. Let's have a tag match. And they just did. And that was his babyface turn. Like, that was...
But because you're like, you know he's going to deliver the goods.
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes it okay. Like, imagine if Big Show had delivered the goods every single time he was going to do a turn. You'd be like, yeah, all right, fine.
You were just desperate for another turn. I just want my 30-second go with him as a babyface.
Sailor Aaron also, thank you for your donation in this chat. Says, happy Friday, gentlemen. If Austin Powers was a pro wrestling journalist, he'd be Adam Wilbourn.
Feels about right.
Nicest thing anyone's ever said, yeah.
What would you say to that?
Yeah, baby.
Well, you've ruined that, haven't you?
Merry Christmas to the Hammer.
And I know you can do it as well. That's the most annoying thing. Yeah. Why are you playing it down? Who's watching today?
Yeah.
At home?
Oh, God, that was going wrong. He tried to pull out with that because it was going wrong, wasn't it?
Merry Christmas to the Hammer and to Mr. Nicholas, who, if he ever left WrestleCulture, could get a job as Pretty Deadly's manager. Yes, boy!
Yes, boy!
You fucking witch. You're kidding. They couldn't afford me.
We've got another comment there I meant to read. Matt Rain says, piss off with Taylor Swift on the SmackDown pod. Yeah, we had Taylor Swift on the SmackDown preview podcast today.
Hashtag SmackDown catchphrase. Check it out on X later on. Oh, yeah, go and listen to the podcast.
Mark D. Willis also said that Tactical Penguin, who's listening on a forklift, was reaching heights with this post.
Very nice, Mark.
I don't want to do this because Devin's very kind and donated to us, but it's a real hospital pass to you, Hamflett. Can you book the perfect way for Damen Priest to cash in Money in the Bank and become world champion?
I thought I had. I thought they were going to go the War Games route. I don't know. Does he wait now until after WrestleMania? Because all of a sudden there's a lot more dust to settle than there was a few months back, wasn't there? Like WrestleMania being the season finale. I know it never really is, and there's always things that carry on. But right now, he's not cashing on Roman Reigns. That just seems like the reality of the situation. And Punk and Seth, if it happens at the Rumble, is massive. It is absolutely massive. And I just don't think Triple H would look at winner or loser, Seth or Punk, and go, right, you're losing it straight away.
Yeah, of course.
Like, post-WrestleMania, though, I think it's all to play for. Like,
see, I'm worrying because I'm thinking, oh, God, how long's he got left on Money in the Bank? But he's got till July 1st, 2024. So he's got past Mania, past Backlash.
Yeah, here's a thought for you then. I'll ask you because he's your boy. Is there an element here where Punk could lose to Seth. Is in like I know they're supposed to be better now. Yeah, and we got Cody beat Seth flat out when he first turned up, but was none of this like, you gotta prove it, kid, lie down. Is there any way that Punk could lose, right? And like, I mean, it wouldn't be the end of maybe him and Seth, but then everyone like, what the hell, what's happened here? Priest cashes in, and you get kind of have your cake and eat it, and the Punk loss, while people will be talking about it, might get overshadowed by a Priest title.
It's honestly like I love this.
I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying, is there a version of that would work?
I love this Punk Seth match because I think it's really hard to call, and I think it'll be so fun if we get the graphic right. Then it's time to start making your predictions and sticking your neck out. All the political ramifications of Punk getting given this first loss that people will rightfully read in as you're testing you. You're going to pass this test. What are we doing here? You know, and like, or him winning and what that does to WrestleMania season and how much it blows up things. You've made me think of, I know it's one of your personal favourites, but what about a Plan C where Damen Priest inserts himself like Seth did at WrestleMania 31? Yeah.
What if he
picks the bones?
Yeah, you know? Steals it.
Yeah.
Or what if he, because the moment they said Punk could just work Stone Cold Steve Austin, I thought, oh yeah, that's fine. We don't need to the world title at WrestleMania anymore. So that's fine. And also Punk being introduced as this, I assume, more heelish character. Yeah, I think they are going to put a world title on him further down the road, but you want babyface Punk because you want that huge reaction. And I always love the babyface Punk slowly being like, actually, no, I don't really want to let go of this title. And you got plenty of time. You got 3 years, guys.
Well, this is the other thing.
And he will make it.
What happens?
Yeah, because that's another question I was going to ask you actually in a second.
I was going to say, like, what would they be super keen to put a belt on him straight away?
I don't think so.
Because, like, I mean, I know they're happy to have him.
Yeah.
But, like, that real world title, I haven't seen that since, like...
I think these conversations have happened. I know belts seem frivolous compared to money and real stuff, but I would be amazed if they haven't said, look, it's not a world title on day one, mate, and you have to know that this coming in, and if you kick up a fuss about that when we've agreed it... And I think
he's
that's
last
all of the
6 months, though, isn't he? That was the big news.
I think this works out.
But that's the point. I mean, like, there's no point giving him those things straight away. Like, one of the things might have been either lose to Seth or, you know, like that. I think that triple threat could work perfectly, to be honest. Like a little snatch and grab from Priest, which could leave them two still feuding, Punk and Seth, because they didn't get a definitive winner or whatever. Like, but for me, if they've promised him maybe say a Mania main event on one of the nights potentially, I'm not saying that's happening, but a match with Stone Cold or what, something big that he wants, and said we can't put a belt on you because like we're gonna need you to prove that, and also like we just need to prove that you're gonna be hanging around. Like we need to know. Like that's not that. He might be many things, but he's not an idiot when it comes to business, and I think he himself would probably understand that.
Yeah. About night one chat show, CM Punk, Stone Cold Steve Austin says,
I tricked you, Steve.
What about generally for Damen Priest, because he's slowly turning babyface in front of our very eyes, and what does Triple H love to do? He loves first, doesn't he?
Yep.
We are getting the backlash dans le Lyon. Bashing, I don't know why Bashing Berlin's also French now.
Bashing Berlin. Ah, oui, oui. Bashing Berlin.
So what about, is one of the few things that they haven't...
Berlin.
One of the things they haven't done yet with the Money in the Bank briefcase is calling your shot for WrestleMania.
Okay.
So Damen Priest says, I want to face you, Seth, for the world title on the grandest stage of them all.
Well, he couldn't he? Yeah. Like, ultimately, that's the reality of the briefcase.
Well, I'm slightly more reassured that WrestleMania, I believe, is around April time.
Yes, typically.
And you've got a good 3 months after that, or 2.5 months.
A hard switch to January.
Yeah.
Something as well at the moment is that Priest and Balor have got these tag belts, and that will presumably drive the proper split. So how long do they want to keep those belts on them? Like, when do you want to switch from Priest
right now, Creed Brothers, put them on the Creed Brothers, give it to the Creed Brothers.
Yeah, Creed Brothers to the end of the season. Yeah.
Is it too soon though?
I think a little bit.
Because remember when they did that, and obviously they were unfortunate with injuries, but they did that with American Alpha, and it felt like, we've just gone too soon. You've given it us. Like, we want it, obviously, we want it. That was an era where that happened quite a lot. Bayley just got the belt a bit too quick.
Yeah,
like as a women's champion, like just there was no chases. It was just storm in and see what happens, and nobody was ready for anything.
I've always really liked the idea of Priest losing the tag belt on the same night he wins the world title. And the idea that the Judgment Day should be thrilled for him, and Finn Balor in particular is kind of raging actually when he becomes his first contender, and that's how they do that. You know,
there's Seth playbooks want to pull out of from that 31 where he lost to Orton and then went straight.
They could lose the tags on the undercard. Like that,
because it does work. That genuinely, because I only just come back, so maybe it was just me, but I remember thinking, well, there's no way anybody, like my brain wouldn't even entertain the fact that someone would come and cash in the main event because they love Roman so much, and he just lost to Randy Orton. So, yeah. And that's very deft booking, as our colleague would say.
More comments to read here. One from Marcel Laviolette, who says, hello, Wilbourn, Hamflett, and Big Nick.
Big Nick.
Ooh, that's the first time anybody's ever called us that.
Like it?
Probably the last.
I like it. Hope all is well. If the live show goes global, I know a brewery or two in Houston. Hint, hint.
Oh, my God.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Who's working on the shirts? I got a couple ideas for some merch. Yeah.
New Year.
Yeah, New Year
info, all that kind of stuff.
I can say that much, I think. Yep. New Year, we will be entering the world of merchandise, I believe. In
very excited.
In either a small or rather large way.
Do that. It's going to be quite expensive shirts. But
also, actually, just as a real quick roll call, because we're genuinely interested in this. In America, if you're watching from America, or indeed in the UK, where would be interested in like the Dudley Boys live tour or the WrestleCulture live tour in general?
Yeah, I would love to know that.
The podcast.
Oh God!
Is
consider this market research.
Yeah, this is
potential
chuck your towns and places in here. Any venue options might be great as well.
So funny. Well, we're off for 3 weeks. Best of luck with everything, Andy.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Like you couldn't do it on the move. You could do the work on the move. I know you could.
I can make this work. I've got a couple of conversations to have at home, but I mean,
I'm already
Dudley
going.
Boys tour bus.
He's got the ticket.
Oh my God.
Like the Luger bus.
Oh yes. Flex Express. Yeah. Boasting about our tour. Yeah.
Mark Lee Willis suggests what culture? That's what I call Christmas 2024. Should we do that? I think we should do a Christmas calendar.
That sounds like Mark's teeing up his own work there. Thank you I'll say it's on a microphone now, Mark. I've listened through all that now, and thank you very much. I did message you about that, but now that's what I call what culture thing. What a work of art.
Tell you what, we've got some tasty ones already coming in. Kenny, thank you for this. Kenny says Colorado. Jeff says Chicago. Mark Lee Willis says Bristol. Kyle says sunny Burbank, California.
Nice.
Bernd Sturger says Milwaukee. Blackheart Camden says Paul. I will bring all the Jews of the mountain, says Jeff.
It's like that no wrong answers thing.
Yeah.
But there are no wrong answers.
Everyone's winning here. I'm just
brilliant.
getting W after W after W.
Barton Keys says, boys, Toronto is a classic wrestling city.
Oh, yeah.
Just Darrell says Chicago for All Out. The Jersey Shore Boardwalk, get your tanning on. Yes.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Can't believe we've done this. I can't believe we booked this world tour.
Well, there's the research for you, chap.
Big MGM says Pistol Wave in New Haven. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I mean, I like the rhyming.
Oh, I added that. I just stole that from Jake from Jake and here. Singapore, says EC.
Yeah, in.
Ooh, get
in.
Well,
yeah, worldwide.
Worldwide? Go on, you do it. You're the best at it.
Well, what? I've done that for ages.
Well, come on then.
Whoa, what?
He's groovy, baby.
Motor City says Tuttle. Oh, yeah. Just Darrell also says, Danielson is a pirate. What do pirates travel on? Get him in NXT first. Raw call-up. Pirate versus a Viking. Tick, tick, tick. You're welcome, Sidgwick and WWE.
Yeah, done.
He goes from the goat to the boat. Just like that.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and then go on to Dollywood.
Yeah.
Dollywood, yep.
Oh, wow. Oh, EC also says, bring you some durian. We're all good for that. Thank you very much.
That came in the office once before, and oh boy.
Jeff also says, happy holidays to all the legends. Both speaking Washington within all the brilliantness, except what's his dick? F that guy.
Who's that?
I think is that the punker or no?
I don't know.
I can't keep up with it nowadays.
She's not to respect that rivalry if that's what it is. Maybe it's just me.
Well, maybe it's you, that stupid asshole.
What's his dick?
SpongeBob, fuck off. It makes sense. I left the square out. It doesn't make sense. But you knew what I was getting at.
Still takes me back to like my all-time favourite bits of YouTube abuse, where like somebody just put like.
You never forget the best ones, do you? You never ever forget them.
What it was something like the first comment was like, "What is the deal with that guy's head?" And then the reply to this was like, as if they'd like never noticed, but like they said, it's like, "Dude, that shit is square."
Thanks, guys. Also, it was the one that a while back where it was like, who's the new guy?
Yeah, it was like, about a month back.
I always loved remember we did a whole bit when we were doing that old NXT thing that I used to do. And I remember the first comment section going in, best comment, killed me. But I put on a t-shirt and we did a bit for the next episode. It was, who is this Scottish robot or ginger Scottish robot and where is his personality? And I was like, yep, that's going on a shirt. Yeah. Straight on, impact on,
covered the
white
holes.
Impact on black. Yeah. Just like the tier, single tier went down. It's all good, guys. Everything's great. Sorry, it's all good, guys. Everything's great.
Jeff Rainmaker has clarified what's his dick is Punk. That's what Mox called him on Jericho's podcast.
Of course it is.
Definitely not Hamflett, says Jeff. Also, we've had Ian Smith suggest the Land Rover Social Club in Birmingham.
All the way in.
Loves a bit of Birmingham, this guy.
Away from home.
Chief Omega says Brunswick in Germany.
All right.
Guten Tag, absolutely. Could Ken Shamrock come back to the Fed? I think they've done like a Legends thing with him, haven't they?
Is this his...
I think he should dethrone Gunther, to be honest.
Easy.
I want to watch it.
Yeah.
I want to watch him lose.
Like a 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute to win.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, innit?
I want to beat you into the living death.
You in a living death.
That's the best thing Tito Ortiz has ever done when he just goes.
Spoken like somebody that hasn't watched enough repeats of the TNA Storm Warning, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. Look at the bloody size of his watch.
Not Ken Shamrock, Ken Anderson gone.
How has this happened?
Trying not to yawn on camera.
How has this happened?
Yeah, Shamrock in the Hall of Fame, I reckon.
Yeah.
I love Ken Shamrock.
Who doesn't?
Terrifying man, but I love him so much. And I like the fact that it is one of those sort of teasers around this time of year, isn't it? It's like, we've decided to put some T-shirts out for this guy.
Yeah. Used to be, remember like how 2K basically built a load of bridges? So like that was how like Warriors thing started, and that was how Sting, that like the best thing WWE ever did with Sting was the 2K advert where he's got the orchestra.
Yes.
And they all turn around, they got
Really
the Sting
good.
masks and stuff.
The height of his run.
Yeah.
Before he ever...
Before he debuted.
anything. That's no shade on him, I should point out. That's shade on the booking.
Stephanie Chase says, comes to Liverpool, guys.
Yes.
Love Liverpool.
Yes, shout out to Stephanie Chase and Benno and the Grapple lads that I think are kicking around up in the North East.
That's definitely... Hello.
Put them over on Collision as well today.
I'll put them all over the time.
Yeah.
They kick ass. Brits 1, Yanks 0 or whatever it is.
I was chatting to someone.
The limeys, all right.
I'm sure he won't mind. I was having a very professional conversation with one of the guys at ACAS, and shout out as always to ACAS for looking after us through over the years, who said, why are British wrestling podcasts so popular? Why do people bother listening to you guys? And I was like, I don't know if we got there first or...
What's not the like?
I don't think it's our professionalism mainly.
How would you send an email without sounding like braggadocious, like, the best takes?
Our best takes combined with accents that people think are intellectual despite everything that we say to the contrary.
Hey, don't look at me. I'm over there. Usually
Rather than telling you, email there, let me show you. Shagadelic. Union Jack drops everywhere. Like, massive dance routine. Union Jack mini.
I think
top open, hairy chest out. Like, yeah, baby.
I think people mainly respect us because we have
these nuts.
Oh, we're doing so well. Yeah, it's gone again.
This is. I want you to remember, this is your last remaining wrestling journalist. The last one. I'm
going to book hole. Sidgwick wrote a really good book about AEW. It's not just buttons. Like, this is 120,000 passionate, insightful words and insights in this one.
Yeah, but what were the things you had to press to write that book?
Keys.
You nearly fell for it, though, didn't you? You felt like he was lost for a minute there.
Well, I couldn't do what then.
Good.
I can't be trusted with this.
Yeah.
What's
what's happening now is, I actually thought about this a while back. You were kind of deprived on this side, aren't you? Because Sidgwick gets access to all the buttons. And it's like really awkward for you to do that. It's not, where Sidgwick can just do it like this.
Just treat
so I think you should take advantage of this and press as many as you want while you're here, because, you know
that bit in The Simpsons where they're like, if you press this button and it electrocutes someone else. Yeah. If we all had a soundboard, no one would ever say anything on the podcast.
This is how this is how AI finally beats us in the end, isn't it? Like it's just somebody's like soundboarded like enough sort of clips over the years, but not of the soundboard of us speaking.
Yes.
And just presses a button, and then it's like make What Culture Wrestling podcast noises, the odd wrestling take.
It wouldn't exactly be hard pressed though.
Sneaks it in the feed and nobody notices.
Where would they find all the words? How many podcasts have you done at this point?
It's terrifying, that isn't it? That we contributed all that noise to the big AI robot, however it's made.
Barton Keys has nailed it. I find US wrestling podcasts and channels take it all a bit too seriously. It's a silly, silly thing we like. The What Culture lads have a laugh about it.
How dare you, Barton?
Imagine seriously being like, tonight, Hamflett, we're going to get the Chase U.
Hang on, you do watch your own podcast back, right? I'm not pointing shade at anyone in particular, but there is an element of all of these things you discuss, whether it's seriousness, whether it's comedy, whether it's sometimes criticism of things that shouldn't really be criticised.
It's very much it's the wrestling buffet, isn't it? That's what we.
I like to think that's what we provide.
You do provide
the buffet,
a full service and an
buffet.
honest service. I always say this to people when I would shoot back the three of you for anything. I was like,
Fight?
What?
In a fight?
Oh, of course.
Come on, man.
Hey, if you got any problems, I'll fight anyone for you.
We're starting one just to
Have you
get back
seen the
Nicholas.
size of us? I'll knock everybody out, mate. But genuinely, like, I think it works so well because there's such a variety. There's like there's something for everybody, but we never ever lie about it. Like, if you're not feeling it, you're not just going to come on and be like, it was the best wrestling that ever wrestled. It's not true.
Yeah.
And there's too much in the back catalogue that
it's
proves
too
that
much.
as well,
Far
isn't it?
you're far too down the hole now. Like.
Yeah, we're in deep
Far
now.
too this guy is down the rabbit hole. You might get away with it, but this guy.
I confess, I quite like the Fed.
Before we move on to this week's quiz, Jeff's nailed it, by the way. And so we're like, how are we going to do it? How are we going to do? You know, we've got all these cities that we'd like to go to, and I'll cram everyone in. Jeff says, the What Culture Wrestling podcast cruise.
Oh my god!
Featuring a WCPW revival as well.
Goats on boats.
Goats on boats and gloats.
I think which is preposterous that we even thought about this. I think goat on a boat might have been the first thing we threw out to the 3 listeners we had.
Yes.
Including Colton, who might be watching now, on What Culture Extra, a long forgotten paywall
Was it
service.
on a River of Tears as well?
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin, indeed, is...
Indeed, as a French would say. Got a promo about sitting on a boat on a River of Tears, and we invited all 3 of our listeners to enjoy a Photoshop contest.
Weirdly, this is just coming back to my memory that you guys had this little moment when people were making pictures of it and that. Yeah?
Like 6 years ago, whenever it was, early
it's
days.
Been a long
early
6
days.
years, lads. A long 6 years.
Devin just says, I want to ride the Wilboat.
Well, there's a name.
Is that a boat or is that a nickname for what we talking about here? I mean, both are very, both very very believable.
All this.
We can invite listeners on, and then at the front, Matt Reigns can hold Cedric up and go, "My king of the world!" Arms out.
Right, enough of all this. It's now time for a bloody good quiz.
What an image.
And this week's quiz is brought to you by Josh Stern, who sent me a lovely email earlier on this week with his Spotify Wrapped. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who sent these to us.
Love that.
Josh simply says, appreciate you guys. Hyped to be in the top 2%. 26,139 minutes.
Nice.
Really appreciate that.
Insane.
Sorry.
All of them.
26. Oh, yeah, I've said it. 26,000, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Wild.
As I said last time, 6 years, mate. Where you?
Up with this.
Listen, more. No, it's great, really, genuinely amazing.
Adam Nicholas's life.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish you could see my Wrapped for this. Whether I wanted to or not, I hear this podcast. Even before I was a producer. I remember in the old office when we had that like studio that only had a curtain.
Oh, man.
It didn't actually have a door. Right?
Yes.
One of the studios didn't have a door, and those 3 were in there doing all of the bullshit. And everyone in the office could hear them. Like, it would just be like someone just turned on a tannoy.
Yeah.
It's like getting blasted through the office.
Forget and then pull it back.
And then you have to.
Oh, yes.
They would walk past the boss's glass office. They would walk past all the other colleagues, and it was just like, someone just deflated the balloon. They would come out like, "What a great!" Oh, everybody just heard that. Everybody's just heard that.
Like, if the pandemic had never happened, Tuesdays and Wednesdays people would choose to work from home. Because the first couple of goes to the NXT preview and review, like there'd only be, obviously Ian and Nicholas are 4 of us, plus Stacks, plus Judgment Daisy,
yeah.
Nelly the Elephant, and there'd be nobody else working.
That's it. That's very true.
Yep.
It'd still be quite crowded though.
there was a situation that we realised there's a potential mixed tag / double date because we're not sure if they'd get along. Mm-hmm. Stacks and Judgment Daisy. I don't know if it's a present thing or a past thing, but they've got
a bit of chemistry there.
There's sort of a moonlighting vibe, isn't there?
Yeah. There is a little bit, yeah. There's a frisson. Is that a dairy pun?
You like this? Yeah, you like this.
Might be something to do. Anyway, but Wilbourn, who people have said looks quite a lot like Stacks. I don't see it myself. Wilbourn, of course.
2 Stacks on WWE.com's page as well.
There is, yeah. What's that about? Picture that.
What's up with that?
Picture that, eh?
Wilbourn obviously has a similar will they, won't they, with the Laughing Cow.
That is true. That is
one of the highlights of this year, Laughing Cow liking my tweet.
I mean...
And my son was born this year.
I remember... I remember your love for the Laughing Cow is like law, isn't it? It goes all the way back. I remember you dropping that as far back as the old office, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is that I could be opening a door here. Awkward animated animal crushes. is the Laughing Cow yours?
You got the Dairy Milk Caramel Rabbit.
Yeah.
She's...
Adult Nala from The Lion King.
Adult Nala.
Obviously, come
Everybody
on.
was
Route 1.
Route 1 straight in. Here we go.
I also like the fact that we're in the middle of this conversation and Matt Rains obviously talking about listening lots to the podcast because you're in your goddamn right. But now it looks like...
Yeah. We know what you're talking about, Matt.
But yeah, it's the sort of coquettish laugh that the Laughing Cow has.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Look at him.
Eloise goes out.
Yeah.
Like, Eric's definitely asleep. Lights down low. Lights a candle.
Yeah.
Gets this little circle thing of cheese out.
Yeah. Puts it in his mouth.
It's hidden because it's in a box of Dairy Lee. It's the problem.
It's like,
knows.
Oh.
You've got sight dotted around the house. You've got like a book. There's just a page have been carved out.
I have to say though, like Laughing Cow, great and all that. Sure, she can laugh.
Oh,
but can she do her own stunts? You know, with the chicken,
Yeah.
kicks the twig and smack him in the face. Ah!
You know.
Are we doing a quiz, aren't we? But before we get to that, Mr. Twilly says, cheers, guys. Are any
This
of you
is the real quiz. This is the real quiz.
Are any of you coming out to the States for the Rumble? Well, I've bought a Euro Millions ticket tonight, so
so no.
if I win the 200 million, we're all going, boys.
We have a system here with a company that owns us.
Believe it or not.
Where we can set goals. And a shoot, one of my goals. I would love to attend a Royal Rumble and cover it. Never been able to cover a Rumble before, so that would be amazing.
I think, if we are going to do a Rumble, it would be 2025.
Yeah, be awesome. Be absolutely awesome.
Long term, I'd
Speak for
love to
yourself.
do it.
I'll go in 2024.
But anyway, this week's quiz is all about wrestler finds off the back of the...
and not fine wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's the 5-star review, unfortunately.
That's behind the paywall.
Yeah.
10 questions.
What goes on behind there?
Only Wilbs, you'll find that on. That's where that one is.
Multiple choice.
We're on YouTube and the Laughing Cow. It gets disgusting.
Oh, mucky stuff.
I might start a cameo soon, to be honest. See what happens, eh?
What happens is you become very rich very quickly, but your wife hates you.
Good news, dear. We're going to the Rumble.
Yeah.
This camera tight on Wilbourn. He's looking down and he's going, spread him. And then the camera shoots over his shoulder and it's just a slice of bread with some dairy leek.
10 questions, multiple choice, shouting name. Wait for me to come to you.
No, wait. Just give me Eric. I've just got to do another bit with him. Sorry. I've just got the circle of life. Just holding them up. All the champions. He's got Eric in all these different videos. With like the little emoji on his face to hide his identity.
Yeah.
Little Eric in an Austin Powers outfit.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Tony Storm video, like just who throws a shoe?
Just for fun, this is. Just I lost where I was there for a second.
We found the one voice he can't do. There is a block.
I know. I think he can do it. I know for a fact he can do Austin Powers.
Yeah.
He's choosing not to, and I can't wait to ask him why when we get off there.
I think he thinks if he does it,
Do you think it's going to
then
immortalise
people will just associate him so much with that. There's no way back.
I think we've tapped into something from school here where he used to get Austin Powers or something like that with the glasses and the ginger hair.
No, I got Shermanator. That's what I got.
Shermanator.
Chris
That
Evans?
wasn't at school, actually. It was at work.
I have to say,
Yesterday.
I have to say it. That was you yesterday. What are you talking
I was
about?
like 18-year-old and I was like working in the kitchen. They'd be like, Sherman, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, oh, great, another fun day at work, is it?
The only time I can imagine this being worse, which I will share with you as well, I got it once. I got Shermanator once on a bus, right? because we were on my way to, I think I was going to see the Arctic Monkeys. I always get it wrong. Which one's the one in Ireland? Finley Park or Marley Park?
Pass.
I think
one of them.
Finley.
Or both of them. I don't know. Finley. Let's say it was Finley. Or Finsbury.
That's London.
Someone. Yeah, that's London. So maybe not. Maybe Marley. Anyway, somewhere in Ireland. So on this bus from the hotel to the, just get talking to these two lasses. I'm like, oh, this is good crack. And then all going well. Thanks, Michael. The mate sitting behind him just pops up like a little meerkat out of the chair. I'm thinking, this is going well. This just pops out of the chair and goes, yeah, mate, you look like the Sherman here. It's like, well, that's that date. All my mates are like killing themselves laughing. I'm like, well, it was nice that, wasn't it? I guess all that's in the bin now. Driver, drop me off here.
Yes.
Thank you. Don't want to go to the gig anymore.
Completely wrong. It was Marley Park. Thanks to everyone correcting us in the chat.
My first work nickname in the first real job post-university was Lego Head. So it's kind of then now forever on the old box on the shoulders, isn't it?
You know what it is? Until you mentioned it, it wasn't. I never thought like. I was never. I didn't look at you and go, defining characteristic. He's got a proper square head. But until you mentioned
me
it,
fat or thin, because right now it's like a square with circles bursting out the sides.
I never saw it. And but as soon as you mentioned it, I was like, oh my god! If you like took it and zoomed it in, it would fit a telly, like the old tellies, like perfect. You know, little box ones.
CRT.
It's the RT.
The one that R-Truth.
R-Truth telly.
Yeah, that's it.
Also,
maybe that's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Is R-Truth? Yeah. Is he going to help him with the cash in? Is that like? Could you,
Oh my God, where's it?
Have you done this?
yeah.
Oh no, that's Adam.
Oh my God.
This is why you can't be trusted.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
Oh my
See it through.
God. Yeah.
Uh,
Like Ron Killings. Ron Killings?
Wrong killings.
R-Truth comes running in during the Seth and Punk match because he's got beef with Punk, hasn't he? As well.
yes.
And then he's like, oh, sorry, I thought I was in the wrong match. But it turns out he knows exactly where he is. Hits him with the telly. Boom. Priest's in. Egg. Yep. And there's an egg. Yep. Good.
Hey. You all right?
You all right. Unless we're talking about Dwayne, in which case, meh.
Yeah, you're not a rock guy.
Nope.
Love this. Love this about you.
Yep. Can't wait till he is president of the United States of America. Good. Great.
Well, president of.
These nuts.
And God bless the United States.
We're not a Trump supporting podcast.
Sailor Emin
No,
says.
we do not. No, we
he
are
says
not.
it funny,
Yeah.
that's all. Sailor Emin says, what culture's A-team on the live pod today? The two Adams and the better Michael.
Oh, I don't get involved in
Hey,
that discourse.
we don't go down that road.
Question number one.
Unless you pay us, and then I will tell you.
You'll read it out. You know, who were slaves to that dollar amount ultimately?
Yeah. Who in WWE apparently happily pays $1,000 each time he uses one of WWE's banned terms?
Ooh, I like that.
Is it Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, or Triple H?
He pays $1,000.
Hamflett.
I don't think it's a flex.
No,
You know, because $1,000 to them is like that's like a quid to us.
I think because I'm visualizing him doing it so happily. This is like a big bank of WWE. It's like, do you want some money?
Yeah.
John Cena.
Yeah.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Triple H feels too on the nose, even though I bet I could see him doing it and being like, yeah, so I don't care. I'm a game. I'm hard. I'll pay the grand.
You would, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Spit everywhere.
Paper
Paul
billionaire.
Heyman, because he's a little ball of menace.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Jeff Raymaker first in the chat. It was Cody Rhodes.
Of course I. Have you seen what Paul Heyman travels in?
It's a joke.
No, I'll show you on
That's
this.
always a joke as well.
Yeah. I'll show you afterwards. He bought his own like blue adult onesie, basically.
Oh, yes. I thought you meant like a vehicle.
Yeah, like the Walrus mobile or something. Like
What's the
it's
one
got
where it's
big
like a
walrus
worm
face
driving
on
in
the
an
front.
apple or
It's a
something?
cartoon Batman
Am I
thing.
picturing there?
What's that?
It's like a worm driving in an apple.
What is that? Because I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I just
worm driving in an apple. There he is. Look.
That's him. That's who I was thinking of. What's that?
Busy World of Richard Scarry, is that? The Lowly Worms apple cart.
You know what I was saying before, like, sat with wrestling and very little else would be my 10.
Yeah.
I think your 10 is in that car.
Yeah.
I've got my apple.
He's driving a large apple. Beep, beep.
An apple a day keeps the traffic away.
Get us now on Apple Podcasts or Apple Cars, whichever one you want.
Right, question 2, 0-0 still. Sheamus was once kayfabe fined $500,000 for doing what?
I don't know.
Attacking Nicholas backstage after he beat him at WrestleMania.
Did he?
He couldn't beat me if he tried, man.
Swearing at an audience member. Brogue kicking a referee. Or forcing Dolph Ziggler to kiss his arse.
That did happen.
But is that worth $500,000?
Hamflett. I'll go with the obvious one, the referee. Yeah.
You do like make an example after the referees one
Yeah.
going, yeah.
They did do the kiss my arse match, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
remember.
love that. I remember watching that going, well, no, it's not fair. That wasn't the stipulation. You lost. He's like, I'll just do it.
Just do it anyway. I'm going to do it.
You've got to kiss his bum. Follow the rules.
Get the cheeks out.
What are we even doing here?
When was this?
12, 13?
It wasn't it when, I'm struggling to remember here, was it when Sheamus was first around as a heel having lost the belt, or was it when he came back with the new haircut and the...
When he
was
came back,
before
when
that,
he came
it
back and turned, that was, it must have been
2016,
before that. 'cause
was it that was?
He came back and
2015.
2015,
decimated
yeah.
Brian, didn't he, on his return, if I recall correctly?
Yes.
Because I had just got back into wrestling at that point,
That sounds right, yeah.
and I remember being like, "What? He's hitting him really hard. There's no need to hit him that hard, especially a guy who's already fragile." And then he ends up on the shelf, Brian. It's like, what are you doing?
That's right,
And
yeah.
it
They had
wasn't-
that really hard-hitting SmackDown match, didn't
But
they?
I'm not putting that on Sheamus, but I
No.
had just got back into wrestling at that point, and people like wrestling like that. I just didn't know that because I'd been away for so long.
Like Brian was the IC champion, wasn't he?
Yes.
So he was like, I'm gonna make this a workhorse belt again, and then he got hurt. Yeah.
You did have the weird... I forgot about that. I don't remember it like that.
Yeah.
Extreme Rules 2015. 1-0 to Hamflett. Question 3. Mark Henry revealed the fine for reaching out into the crowd. What is it? Is it $10,000?
Is this now
what?
in AEW?
This is in WWE,
Okay.
apparently.
What, like-
reaching out and touching a crowd. I don't think like that.
So
I think it
during
means
the
like
pandemic era?
getting involved in the
Oh,
crowd.
I see, right, yeah.
10 grand, 25 grand,
Genuine
50
customers.
grand, or $70,000.
High fiving somebody in the crowd.
No. I think he means like lunging into the crowd.
Sorry, what were the options?
10,
again?
25, 50, or £70,000.
It's robbery, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's weird.
Too much.
We'll go in the middle because he likes the middle,
Yeah.
numerically,
Go on, then.
historically.
Take this one first.
So what was it doing in the middle?
25 or 50.
I'll go over the higher end. Let's go for 50.
No, dear, that's wrong.
I'll go lower then, 25.
No, dear, that's wrong.
70 grand.
70 grand.
I wonder when that was initiated. I wonder, remember that time that like Punk chinned that fan and it was the wrong one?
Yeah.
Not that there was
Yeah.
a right one. Don't chin fans, but like, maybe it was off the back of that, and it was like an expensive legal situation. They were
point.
like, we're not having this
Right,
happen
right,
again.
right.
Yeah. Question 4, still 1-0 to Hamflett. John Cena once paid $88,000 in fines for 6 wrestlers and a referee because they goofed around after a match. But which wrestler did the referee, it was Danilo Amphibio, which wrestler did he super kick? Was it Rusev, The Miz, AJ Styles, or R-Truth?
This is a blind spot for me. I don't know this story or anything.
I remember this thing happening.
It's told by
Yeah.
a certain wrestler. Actually, I'm not going to say who it was.
Nicholas, I don't know is the answer. But I feel like, what were my options again, just to be sure?
Rusev, Miz, Styles, Truth.
I'm going to say Rusev, because that feels like the most problematic of those ones to kick. Yeah. Because like he's
Wow.
already been a beastly...
It was him and Aiden English. Aiden English actually told the story
This is it.
about the fine.
Yep.
John Johnson said, I'll just pay for it.
Wow.
And it was like the ref and possibly both Usos
Yeah.
super
yeah,
kicked them. Styles put on the referee jumper
Yeah.
Just,
and
just
came to
daft,
pin,
just having a good time.
but Rusev kicked out before 3.
Yes.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
the other two got
Yeah.
pinned and they were like, hey, take it home. But Rusev's not laying down for 3.
Yeah, not for a referee.
That's very much that like nice time on SmackDown Live period that everyone was having, wasn't it? That gang of wrestlers, yeah.
Because I remember looking at this and being like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point? Like, everyone's going, Okay, Fabe.
I always like that one where the referee's in the ring, and I can't remember what had happened to Big Show, but he'd been knocked out. Maybe Mark Henry had World Strongest slammed him or something. And the referee was like, the match had finished, everyone comes to the back, and he was like, Big Show like kicked out to him. I was like, what the hell do you think you're doing? He's like, oh, I just want to say about being the Big Show.
Just want me a chance. I saw a chance and I took it.
So 1-1. This is the halfway point there. 5th question. Don't forget you've both still got your...
nailing this, by the way.
Don't forget you've both still got your phoner to ask the chat.
Cool.
True or false? You can get fined by WWE for dressing weird.
I mean, that's... Ooh, now, see, you immediately would go true because you'd feel like...
Dress code and...
WWE and Undertaker telling Punk you should be wearing a suit.
Yeah.
You're like a champion now. He says dressed as a literal dead person.
Say one dressed been more like a dead man.
Dead man. Where's your bandana, boy?
What you got on them legs? Because it ain't a motorbike.
Like I feel like he thinks he's hooked with air.
Yeah.
Straight off the belt.
We
got a coin.
I'll jump on this one then, and I'll say false.
Right.
No, dear, that's wrong.
That's
Point goes to Adam Nicholas. It's true. You have to dress in a professional manner when appearing in front of fans. Otherwise, it's a $500 fine, which doubles the second time you do it, and then you can get suspended.
Eesh, that's a
Rubbish.
weird hill to die on, isn't it? Like
Especially when, like,
so there.
we all like think about when we go on holiday to for like WrestleMania or whatever. And whenever we're in the airport, I'm always
very
in
important work trip.
That's actually
Official
tracky
business.
bottoms, but like you're not traveling like a suit, do you?
They had a deal, didn't they? Remember when they had that thing with Tap Out where you could wear the free Tap Out clobber?
Oh no, yeah. You were supposed to. That's the whole bit in Breaking Ground, isn't that? Where Baron Corbin's not wearing it, and they're like bollocking him because if you've got a sponsor who's paid for you to wear the clothes, you should be wearing the clothes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the deal. But yeah, that doesn't really ring true, does it, to all the people you think above? It's like
No. And what is weird at this point, like
Yeah.
how awesome do like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch typically look in their own weird choices, and yet like imagine turning up for work, bit weird, grand a shot,
Fine.
like
find.
Question 6, so 2-1 to Nicholas. Batista was once infamously fined for blading
Yeah, I remember this.
in a match against who?
Oh,
Hamflett.
Nicholas, go on, you have it.
Ooh.
No, take it.
Chris Jericho,
Yeah.
kind of the last guy to not get away with playing next.
Yeah. And what was it? He just took it like a champ, didn't he? Didn't sell anybody down the river or something, if I recall correctly.
6 chapters in his book about it.
Oh, it's amazing how he never sold anybody down the river. Just pay that fine like a brother. It's like
Brother.
everybody should work for Vince McMahon for 6 months, brother.
Weird thing to say.
And it's not though.
Not from him, no, I know, but just like
that's actually borderline incredibly normal from him.
weird time.
Apparently, Batista was fined $100,000. Jericho, the referee, Mike Chioda, and the producer of the match, Dean
Sorry,
Malenko.
who was the referee?
Mike Chioda. And the producer of the match was Dean Malenko, all fined.
All grounded.
You're grounded. What, Vince? The producer of the match, Dean Malenko, all fined $5,000 apiece, and I think Dave actually
things that have all of them,
them
I
as
think
well.
Dave paid the lot. Aye, because he's a legend, Big Dave.
Oh, cool. Point, wasn't he, about how stupid it was? And he's
Dave
like, I'm about to
Bautista.
get Hollywood money.
Dave Batista, the person that Dwayne Johnson wishes he was.
Oh, there's the take.
Certainly the actor he
Take.
wishes he was.
At
me, I don't care.
Cool.
I'll fight you all.
Bottom Key's interesting little bit of knowledge there. Says he's got a quote from an AEW wrestler. Says, "I was fined for dressing like a ghost."
Rox, why are you trying to find me, man?
Can't believe they told the sheets. I needed those for my ghost outfits.
And now they're dirt sheets. He sent me this. Was it yesterday or the day before? He's like,
yesterday.
I've got this to out of the sound boy. Don't tell the boys. It's just like,
Sprinted up here. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the studio ready, boys.
yeah.
Brian Danielson will fine you for 280 characters. I only got one. The ghost.
I'm Willow the Wisp, man.
Booked it, packed it, fucked off.
How have I allowed myself to be dragged into this? Willingly.
Goes Jeff Hardy, enjoys
Goes
Peter
Jeff
Kay.
Hardy's great.
Enjoys Peter Kay.
No, I've been here for it. I get it.
Archbishop Desmond 2-2 right now.
Garlic bread.
Nice.
I was there for it.
4 questions left.
Okay.
Send everyone home happy here.
That's what the plan
That's
is.
what we're after.
Question 7. How much was Stone Cold Steve Austin initially fined for quitting in 2002?
You should know
Big
this.
wedge this.
Yeah.
$450,000, $550,000, $650,000, or $1 million.
There he is.
There was some
Austin Powers, no. Dr. Evil, yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin Powers.
yes. Good. Very good.
Hamflett, I'm going to cross the 500,000 divide, I think. So I'm going to go with, was it 650 you offering?
650, yeah.
Yeah.
Really sounds good. Yeah.
There was a whole deal.
Reduced down to $250,000.
Oh, just a breezy quarter.
Because there was like shows that he presumably would have worked. And it's like, well, you're off them and that's cost us this. And then there was like merch stuff tacked on. It was like, well, you can't have this money. And it was just like the T-shirts that were getting sold after he left. I think that was gone. So it was all a lot of money.
Got to make an example, hasn't he, I guess?
Yeah.
I guess.
All very weird.
Question 8. Brodus Clay, what he's up to, once revealed that you could get fined in WWE $3,000 for doing what? Is it bleeding on the mat, swearing on camera, having undeclared armpit hair, or bourbon on a live stream?
Nicholas. Bourbon on live stream. It is, if I am not mistaken, bourbon on it. No, it's bleeding on the mat. Yay! Because I remember I don't know why. I remember seeing the bit where he's like, people were like holding their heads, like trying to like angle their head to like not get it on the mat. No, it'll drop. Like in Mission Impossible 1 where he's like hanging there and that one bit of sweat.
Oh, yeah.
Like that one bit of blood is like
Catch it.
and then another one drops off.
Catch it.
No, it's not Hangman Page.
Right, 3-3, 2
Always-
questions left.
It'll pop me for the rest of my life that like Wilbourn first was like a little bit embarrassed that he burped on the live stream and took another drink and did a Steve Austin impression.
Yeah.
It's 3 in the friggin' morning. We're catching sweets in our mouth.
I was going to say, I don't think this is not the line, and certainly not the hill to die on.
No. Question 9.
It's like you broke character. Oh my God.
Am I in trouble?
Enzo Amore.
If you ever fought
boy.
someone, Jesus Christ. Game over.
Enzo Amore was fined $250 in NXT promo class, but what did he do wrong? Was it he said a banned word, he wrote the notes for it on his arm, he talked about Sammy Gadget's titties,
Yeah.
or he farted?
Ooh. All of these, feel like, look at the way he does it.
It's like the bit on live, farting in promo glass. I just let him one rip.
Oh, no, a little four on that.
What are the top 2 options?
Said a banned word, wrote the notes on his arm.
Oh. See, the notes on the arm one feels like
WWE.
it, but Enzo feels like the last guy that would need
Yeah,
that.
he
That
would-
was his whole deal, wasn't it? Can't be. All right, we'll go Wild West here. Farting in promo glass.
Yeah, I want it to be this. Come on. Yeah! Yeah!
Dusty apparently just fined him $250 for farting.
I would as well.
I can smell your gas out your ass.
Get out your ass, baby. Pay the cash.
You know I don't know how to do. It's how you fart. Speaking of farting, question 10.
Bionic hell blow.
Natalia?
Jerry Saggs was once fined $7,000 for farting on a plane.
Yeah.
With the fart being described as so strong, it did what?
Well, first of all, bit of science. Like, penetrate that weird rule where in the air, no one smells your farts. Isn't like the oxygen levels do something to farts or something? And they live in plane seats.
Oh, yeah.
There's something to do this. It's not complete
I'm
bollocks.
going to be honest, I've never researched this.
Yeah, there's
never
something-
felt a compulsion to do it. So
I don't think I could physically fart on a plane out of shame. I've got serious shame issues over being thought of as the one that just dropped that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure plane seats have like some sort of fart protection. So it must have been more
like
powerful.
it goes into the fabric, it's like denied. It comes
they
back
pre-
on the fabric.
They press a button when everybody's off.
Yeah. this guy with like a hazmat on goes in at the end. That's what you don't see. He's just like, don't anybody light a match. Nobody move.
Shit his airways.
Just like presses the button. It's like,
External shot of the blimp.
yeah. It's like a massive flame comes up the back of the plane.
So, Jerry
Sorry.
Suggs farted on a plane.
Yeah.
The fart was described as so strong it did what? Cleared first class, blew dry Miss Elizabeth's hair.
Get lost.
But was it not her who was mad about it? I'm sure. It's not like I'm trying to remember who it was. Who like? Cause
That's out of a cartoon, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
of course
Like,
it is.
turns around, her hair's just gone like that.
It's like, what was wet before it started, and he blew it dry.
What's that thing where it's like that thing? What gets wet when drying? A towel? No, Jerry Sachs
No, Jerry
fart
Sachs fart actually.
in the sky.
Yeah, the fart was described as so strong it could have body slammed Andre the Giant.
Yep.
Or a fart so strong that it saved 2 hours on the flight time.
Right. We've got to have to rule out those second two.
What gave it away?
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the score at the minute?
You need to get this to tie it all up.
Is this the last question?
Last question.
Oh well.
is
All right. Okay. So what's
good
the
pressure.
options?
Jerry Sachs farted on a plane. The fart
No, I can't remember that. Come on.
described as the fart heard around the world. I missed that bit out, but I thought it important to include it now.
Such a piece of trash, isn't he?
The fart was described as so strong it's cleared first class, blew dry Miss Elizabeth's hair, could have body slammed Andre the Giant, or saved 2 hours on the flight time.
Right. I think I want it to be the blow dry one, but this is the show where we give the people what they want, man. So let's get the button ready, please.
Oh, of course, you still have.
Oh, yeah.
Button ready, please. Get it going.
Oh, hang on, sorry. Yeah.
What have I got?
You still have your phoner.
Yeah. And I think for the sake of entertainment, let's do it.
Let's throw it over to
Give
the
it to me.
chat.
Are we saying the first two only? Because the second two.
Yes.
Feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's between the first two options, give them the options again.
We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it
Enjoy yourself.
anyway.
You're on a holiday here, really,
We're
from
gonna
like
do
being a
it
serious
anyway.
podcaster for a bit. A wrestling journalist, actually.
You know, the Nasty Boys were nightmares
Yes.
for farting
Everything.
on the road in cars. But luckily,
It wasn't my car.
Your options are
There he is.
Jerry Sachs' fart was so strong it's cleared first class,
Yeah, first class or
blew dry Miss Elizabeth's hair. So
Blew
picture the scene.
dry Miss
You're
Elizabeth's
there,
hair.
you're on the flight in the WWF. You're heading to, I think they were flying to England maybe, and then Jerry Sachs, just drops a little.
you had it waiting. You should have seen it coming.
6. Pick a number, Nicholas.
8.
And of course, with it being this time of year,
Merry Christmas.
Is that implying
Thanks,
Santa's farting? I think we asked this last year, didn't we?
huh?
Is that implying that Santa's the one doing the farting, or is it just like Santa is with the
I
farts?
don't know yet.
Santa's farting all around me.
Did it improve the flight time moving back by 2 hours, or
9 days.
Yeah.
I'm done now?
No, keep going. What else you got?
Or when Jerry Sachs let rip, you could be heard at the back of the plane, somebody making this noise.
See, this is what he means by why would you do Christmas when you could just have a soundboard and come on a podcast? Anyway, serious business.
The votes have come in.
Have they? Oh,
They have it. Tuttle, Darren, Mia, Sailor M, and all saying clear first class.
sorry, just Corey Bum. Is it fart or is it no fart? If only we had a song for
That's a
that.
feature game.
I'm
You
not
don't
sure.
have to-
I'm not sure
you don't-
Sid would want to play that game.
You don't have to take their advice, of course. But it's up to you,
It sounds like it's up to Nicholas. I'm not sure if I take that advice, hypothetically, if I was in
But
that
I mean,
situation.
have you had a guess yet? You could jump in before him and claim that.
What if I was to guess that it was the what was the one?
Clear first class.
Yeah, if I'm going to go clear first class.
Whoa! He's jumped in before you could even
And I'll
guess.
fling a little thing with you, don't we?
No, dear, that's wrong.
Which means you're now stuck with it.
You've only got those 3 options.
It's just the
That
three
bloke
now.
at the thing where it's like they were dealing coke out this fast food place, and he's like, What? No way.
What? No way, bro.
So your options are a fart that blew dry Miss Elizabeth's hair, a fart that body slammed Andre the Giant, or a fart that...
Are we going with that? Are we going with the hair?
I think so. I think
Right.
like
To tie it all up, to send the fans home happy.
Come on, then. We'll go with the hair. If it's not the hair, beware. Be wary. Be wary. Hey!
as we were saying earlier on in the podcast, this is why people choose British wrestling.
And that is
podcasts.
why this is the number one UK wrestling podcast. Nailed it.
Because American ones haven't got farts, they've got gas.
Fuck off.
And with
Thanks,
that,
guys.
another successful week taken care of. Congratulations to Michael Hamflett and to Adam Nicholas, co-winners of this week's quiz. Let us know how you got on in the comments section or on X at WhatCulture WWE, of course.
Smash it. I wanted to win. There's a shoot.
What is like to follow all three of us? You can follow Adam Nicholas on X at...
It's Adam Nicholas. You can follow Michael Hamflett at...
Randy Punk's music. At Michael Hamflett.
And you can follow me. Yeah. At Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Subscribe to What Culture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from for daily wrestling podcasts. And join us on Monday on the What Culture Wrestling podcast YouTube channel for the Dadley Boys live show. You can still check out the SmackDown and the Collision previews right now as well and enjoy NXT Deadline. But for now, my thanks to Adam Nicholas, to Michael Hamflett. Thank you for joining us. This has been WrestleCulture, and we will see you soon. WrestleCulture is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
And then turned off momentarily later.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Sound like a newsreader in Port.
What newsreaders on BBC that do that?
Amazing, by the way.
And demonetised. Bye-bye.